What is up, fam? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Jessica Vieira here. Now, today I'm going to be talking about how we spent $62,000 in ad spend and made $171,000 in sales revenue without any funnel. I know, bear with me. No funnel whatsoever. Well, at least it's not the funnel that you think it is. Okay. So, for those of you that know, I teach various different ad strategies, client acquisition strategies, and building business strategies. Okay. I don't believe that one way is the only way. I believe in finding the way that works best for you. But today I'm going to be talking about specifically how I was able to help my client make $171,000 and $270 literally with DM ads. That's it. Instagram DM ads. And we were able to get a 2.7 return on ad spend. Now, that's only based on cash collected. That was cash collected for the month. Taking in consideration, these are high ticket sales. So the total sales revenue of each particular high ticket client is much larger than what we collect in cash for the month. Okay. So the 2.7x ROAS is just based on what was collected for the month. Okay. Now, for context, this client does anywhere from $200,000 to $300,000 a month, predominantly with DM ads. Okay. And it blows me away because this client started with me and didn't even have her first product. When she first started with me, she built out her product and then she literally used my DM scripts. She followed my exact strategy, launched the ads, used the DM scripts, and then fast forward to today, she is a multimillionaire and consecutively for the last couple of years has consistently made $200,000 to $300,000 a month using my exact strategies. Okay. So this is the thing. What I'm going to teach you today is the DM ad strategy. Okay. And it does work, but there are a few different things that you've got to have in place for this to really, really work for you. And that's what I want to speak about today. And just a little bit of strategy. And then I'm also going to share screen a tracking sheet that's going to help you know if your ads are working or not. Okay. So $62,000 approximately in ad spend, 66 high ticket clients in 1 month, 171K approximately in revenue, 2.7 return on ad spend. How the hell did we do this? Okay. Now, this is what DM ads, okay? Predominantly Instagram ads. Now, there's a couple of things that this does, okay? Now, we are essentially hunting for cold traffic, so CT, cold traffic, and we are funneling cold traffic to an IG profile, okay? Now, what this is doing is a couple of things. It's obviously going to grow your following because you're going to bring in brand new followers. But what's also cool about this is we're able to get people in the DMs. I feel like there's something on my lip or it's a freckle and it's annoying me. And I don't even know why I'm looking at my lip right now, but I could just see it because I don't have lipstick on. Anyways, tangent. Come back, Jess. So you're going to grow your following. It's going to bring you in new followers and you're also going to get DM leads as well. Okay. So when you set up this ad, I like to do one campaign, okay, one ad set, one ad, okay, and that's how I set it up. Then from there, what I'll do is I will duplicate the ad set and the ad, okay, so ad set plus the ad to create multiple different ads for this, all right? Now, when you set this up, it's really, really easy. Honestly, it is so easy. So what you want to do is when you're creating your audience, okay, there's a couple of things that you want to select, right? You want to select your countries. Normally, Australia, Canada, US are the best countries, but it also depends on where you live, obviously, in the world. Maybe you live in a European country and your best market is European countries. Perfect. Maybe you live in South America and that's your best countries. So obviously it just depends where you're watching this video from. Then from here, you also want to select your gender. Okay. Now you can do male and female or just female, just male. Okay. Then you want to do targeting. Okay. So I make sure all Advantage Plus is off. In saying that, the new Andromeda now, even if you turn off a lot of the settings, Andromeda still forces Advantage Plus creatives on. So yeah, so you really want to try and put guardrails on your DM ads so that you don't get really, really bad traffic. But in saying that, it's really hard to enforce those rules with lead objective ads. Okay. Now, you're going to select your targeting. You want to select like interest-based targeting. So like if you are, let's just say in digital marketing, you might choose social media, digital marketing, maybe affiliate marketing, direct marketing, anything to, or female, women in business, coaching, education. Like you want to try and find interest-based groups that fall within your category and your niche. Okay. Then you want to do an age bracket. I normally do anywhere between 25 and 55. Okay. And then what you want to do is select your placements. Okay. So you want to turn off Advantage Plus placements and you just want to select IG. That's it. Just IG placements. So that you're only sending traffic right to your DMs. Okay. Now, in saying all of this, I forgot to mention that this is lead objective campaigns. Okay. Now, the next thing that you want to do is you're going to want to set up your ad. Okay. And that is like the creative section. Now, what we find is working best is actually using post IDs from IG posts. Okay. Now, this is the magical secret because if you have really dialed in content and your messaging is great, your bio is optimized for the right audience, you have really strong content that is speaking directly to your ideal client, right? You are getting comments on your posts and you really have dialed in your brand's messaging, then this is going to work really, really well for you. And honestly, I will say that even just the results that I shared at the start of this video, the reason why we're able to get so many amazing results is because the messaging is dialed in from the Instagram, so that when people actually see these DM ads and they go to the profile to go and have a look to see who this person is, what the brand is like, there is immediate trust because the content is so dialed in. So this works really, really well if you are focusing on your organic presence. You don't need to have 10,000 followers, 50,000 followers, hundreds of thousands of followers for this to work. High quality content will equal to sales conversions. Okay. So we find post IDs works really, really well. And then we just use the messenger template that's inside of when you're setting up the ad. Okay. And then we just kind of customize that and we treat the messenger template like we would like a ManyChat template. Okay. So when it comes to this, once you've got all this set up, you do want to launch at, I think like a really good amount to launch at is anything above above $20. Only because anything less than that, it's not really worth doing because typically your cost per lead is going to be anywhere between like $8 and like maybe up to like $15 at the highest point, $20 cost per lead. $20 is really high, but you're going to be spending that much just for like decent leads to enter your DMs. Now, keeping in mind with this strategy, you can really see amazing success from it, but at the same time, it is not like running ads to a funnel. Okay. When you're setting up these lead DM ads, you really are asking Meta to send you mass amounts of people, but there is going to be a high amount of people that are unqualified because the way in which you're setting these ads up, it may get you like 100 leads, but maybe only a small percentage, like 3% of those people are going to be qualified for the offer that you have. And then the other part to this is you're also telling Meta to find people that click a lot, people that are always just scrolling, and people that are always clicking on other profiles, following people that are click happy and are somewhat the bottom of the barrel in terms of lead quality. Okay. You're also going to get a lot of people that are not even the right fit. So it really is like a filtering process. And that's the downside of these kinds of ads. Like, they definitely work, but the downside is getting a lot of not good quality or the right type of person to your profile or your DMs. Okay. But it's just a filtering process, to be honest with you. But really what you're aiming for is $8 to $15 cost per lead in order to get to the DMs. So what I normally do when I'm launching these ads for my client, I normally launch at anywhere between $50 and $70 per ad, because I find, number one, I know her content is really good. And number two, I know that she might spend $150 to $200 to get a like $5,000 sale, right? So I know how much she would need to spend to get that. So I want to get to that spending amount within the first 3 days so that she can make an ROI, so then I can allocate more budget to more ads. Make sense? So that's just a little bit of a breakdown there. Now, I obviously teach this inside of Your Brain and AI. I teach two paths, either the the ad account way, setting up ad accounts with low ticket funnels, high ticket funnels. And then I also teach the Instagram DM ad strategy, which I also teach out of the ad account as well. Two different paths for depending on the type of person or depending on what type of business model you want to run. Not everyone is comfortable starting off with building funnels and launching funnels. And what I find is sometimes that this DM strategy is the fastest pathway to get you going with a lower amount of ad spend, just so you can get moving, build some income, and then from there, once you've got some stable income, you have consistent leads coming in, you then pivot to a more of a bigger strategy, okay? And I teach this inside of Your Brain and AI. So like, if you really want to get more leads and you want to know how to get people into your world, especially your social media, and you want to have a clear client acquisition process, which means a clear way of getting attention, getting in front of millions of people, getting leads, actually getting customers, then I can show you exactly what these two pathways look like step by step. I remember a client recently, she wrapped up with me and she said, Jess, when I first came to you, I thought I was coming to you for branding and messaging and positioning, and you gave me that. Plus, you were the first mentor that I have ever invested into that has taught me how to actually get clients. And I'm now realizing that not one of the business coaches that I've invested into has ever been able to show me how to actually tangibly get leads and get clients in a really simple way. And now I know exactly how to run my business. I know exactly how to get clients, and I'm not just sitting around manifesting and waiting for people to come to me. She's like, I didn't realize that there was so much more to getting clients than just posting. And that is something that I'm really, really good at. She's not freaking wrong, because there are actual tangible strategies, like step 1, do this, step 2, do this, step 3, do this. And the problem is that most people don't even know what these strategies are. And whilst posting can definitely get you sales, there is so many other things that you could be doing in your business that will actually lead to sales in a step-by-step process. So I teach all of that inside of Your Brain and AI. The link's underneath this video. The next thing that I want to show you quickly before we wrap up is when you're like running these ads, and I'm going to share screen. When you're running these ads, there's a few different things that you want to look at, right? Because the DMs is, oh, hang on, how are we going to do this? Where's my little head? Hang on. Let me get rid of this one. Now I've got to find my little head. Where am I? Camera A. Yes, here we go. I'm back. So when you're running these ads, you also need to understand that the DMs are a funnel, okay? Because there is a whole process that happens in the DMs. And by the way, I made my first $1 million, and I made my first million in 15 months, literally in the DMs. So I'm your DM girly, right? So the first thing that you want to like start to track when you're doing this is like tracking the performance of that DM ad. Okay. So like, for example, I might say that this is a reel and it is, or maybe it's maybe it's a talking head and I'm talking about, meta ads. Let's just say that is the name of the ad. Now the status is, I'm just going to say it's active. I'm going to say the spend. So maybe I've spent like $150. Okay. And then out of that $150, let's just say I got, let's say I got 80 leads. Okay. So that is a little bit adventurous. That was me definitely being adventurous here. So that's $1.88 per lead. But let's just bring that down a little bit to be a bit more realistic. Nope. Let's do this. Okay. So let's say I spent $150, I got 20 leads, and then per lead, I spent $7.50 per lead. Okay. So that's pretty decent, right? And out of those 20 leads, let's just say 15 of those people actually replied to my first message and my first opening conversation. And again, I teach this inside of Your Brain AI. I have scripts and everything of exactly what to say, how to have a natural, authentic conversation. Now, the next thing you want to look at is the response rate, because if let's just say you got 20 leads, but only 5 people actually engage with you, that means you have a 25 response rate and you're barely even having quality conversations. Okay. So let's bump this back up to 15, right? So we got a 75% response rate. Amazing. We're having conversations. We have people that we're actually having conversations with. Now, out of these 15 replies, and this will depend if you're doing sales calls or you're doing DM closes, right? Same. So let's just say out of those 15 replies, I'm able to book 6 sales calls, okay? Out of those 6 sales calls, let's just say I make 2 sales. That basically puts me at roughly like a 20% conversion rate, okay? Now, out of those 2 sales, let's say my offer is $2,500, okay? So out of that, I'm going to say $2,500, I've made 2 sales, so that's $5,000. That means I have a 33x return, which is amazing. Now, how you make this very profitable is if I've spent $150 and I made $5,000, right? Because my post was great. I've got an active response rate. I was able to book 6 calls. I made 2 sales. I made $5,000. Now what we do is we take some of the money from the revenue that we made, and now we get to bump our ad spend up. So we can turn $150 into $300. And then here is the cool part. We end up doubling our calls, 12 calls. We end up doubling our sales, and then we can end up doubling how much we actually make, right? So this is really the game of ads. And then it's really cool because you can actually do this in the DMs, and you can treat your DMs like you would any other funnel. You're just not having to go through the grueling process of like building a course, then building a funnel, building a sales page, an order page, upsells, downsells, like all these things, all building a high ticket. Oh, there's 2 of me. All going through all the effort to build like a high ticket funnel, and then trying to get people that way, right? So this is just one way. I think it really works quite well. And I think that this is an amazing strategy for like anyone just wanting to start. So that's it from me today. Highly recommend that after this video, you go and watch Why Your Content Flops. Go and watch that video, because if you are going to set up these DM ads, then you're also going to want to focus on high performing, good quality content. Remember, you don't need to be viral at all. My client that I shared with you definitely is not viral, but she has really good messaging, and having good messaging far outweighs going viral. So, highly recommend go and watch that next. And then comment down below what you feel like you just learned from this. And as always, would love to see you inside of your brain in AI if this really landed for you and you want to know the full strategy behind what I just showed you. I'll see you in the next episode.